Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. We're back again with another episode of the BodFathers podcast. I'm your host, Rafa.
I'm your co-host, Berta.
First and foremost, we'd like to apologize for a little couple month hiatus, but we've just been incredibly busy with life in general. A couple of months ago, we just had a brand new baby boy,
Yeah,
and that's been keeping us very busy.
a little bit.
A little bit.
That's good.
And my friend over here just got some braces.
Yes, sir.
So just a little bit of cosmetic surgery over here.
We're trying to get that Colgate smile.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
But
It's gonna take some time.
luckily we're back. Hopefully we'll bring some more content for everyone.
Yes, we're gonna get back into the routine.
The routine. We're coming up on what is this episode? What, 13, 14?
12.
12?
13.
13. We lost count. We have so much content. We don't even know.
We build so much, and it's hard to keep up sometimes. Yeah. So.
But anyways,
we're back.
Well, how were your holidays, dude?
Oh,
what did Santa bring you? Because you weren't under my
tree. Yeah, no, we got a little bit. I mean, the holidays really became more not necessarily for me, but like for the kids. Yep. I think giving them the holidays that you would want as a kid is really what you aim for nowadays. It's not really what you get. I mean, I don't want anything ever really besides seeing your kids happy. But holidays went good. Spent a lot of time with family. They were good. I mean, I can't complain. I mean,
well, let's go back. Well, let's start with Thanksgiving because I think that's pretty much. Well, when do we actually start recording? Like around September, October? Yeah. Probably October.
Let's see.
Yeah. Well, anyways, yeah. But like, well, how was your Thanksgiving? What were your do you guys do anything special?
No. Well, with me, November, December is the busiest time of the year for me. So I'm very busy at work at that time. So the time I do get away from being at work is spending just time with the kids and just really relaxing and making the best of it. There's a lot of November babies and birthdays we had to celebrate in November. So, but overall, it was fun. It was good, and happy to be able to give that that Christmas to the kids, that Thanksgiving family. How was yours?
Yeah, it was actually pretty exhausting because we had our baby at the beginning of November, so we actually had Thanksgiving at our house this year.
There you go.
So it was kind of nice. It was kind of nice to stay home because we were tired and stuff, and then it was just we didn't go to my parents' house for Thanksgiving because this is how we usually split it up. Like we'd have like a late lunch with my in-laws, and then shoot over to my parents and spend time with my side of the family. But now this time we just had it at our house, and it was kind of nice. I actually really enjoyed it. It was smaller, a lot more homey, and then this year, like you said too, like for Christmas, I mean it's pretty much all about the kids. So we spent Christmas Eve with the in-laws and opened presents there midnight, and then shot over to my parents' house in the morning and spent time with family there. But yeah,
how do you guys decide like who you're gonna go with? Like Sam and I, since we got together, we we always go. She has different part of her family that we go to, and we go Christmas Eve to her one side of her family, and then at night we go to the other side of her family, and then the next morning we go to my side of the family and spend Christmas Day. So I mean, for Mexican families, Christmas Eve is kind of just
that's the present.
Yeah, it's more about Christmas Eve. You stay up till midnight. So for me, it was a big deal when we first got together because I wanted to spend Christmas Eve, but they had their tradition, and it's nice because she has a very big family here in this area. So I like it for the kids to be able to experience that. It's a really good tradition they have, and it's it's really nice to be able to do that. And we've been doing that since we got together. So every year since we've been together, we have done that. So I don't like breaking tradition, but I also like the idea of creating our own traditions.
That is true.
Yeah, and I think like maybe that's gonna be a tradition for you, and Thanksgiving that you've done it right. Because before our tradition was everyone used to come to my house, because I work in retail, so Black Friday was a big deal. But now, since we're not open, we get to go to other places for Thanksgiving, which it's nice. Do something different at the same time, but you also want to keep those traditions alive. So I think that's really cool. You guys got to spend it.
Yeah. Yeah. Like you said, like being even when me and Alejandro started dating, like they always do like an early dinner,
Mm-hmm.
late lunch, early dinner, which is kind of nice.
Mm-hmm.
And my mother-in-law is a very very good cook, so she has like a big spread
Yeah.
for Thanksgiving. That's very very good. And then like right after we'd spend it with my family, but since here in the Central Valley, sometimes weather gets really really bad. Like
Yeah.
it could get stupid
fog.
foggy at night, and so at times, sometimes just in case, we'd probably have to pack an overnight bag to spend the night maybe at my parents. Yeah, I mean, it's always fun spending the night, but nothing beats coming to your own house and
Yeah.
sleeping in your own bed.
Yeah, no,
But
definitely.
like you said, like it's always nice to make memories for, especially for the kids.
Yeah.
They have something nice to remember about growing up, and then also for Christmas, we've been doing it. We've been splitting it up, kind of like with my in-laws. So like 1 year, Christmas Eve was spent at our house,
Mm-hmm.
and then Christmas Day we'll go to my parents, and then another year we'll spend Christmas Eve at their house and shit over my parents. So like Christmas Day, like we'll go to my parents. So
What do you do for New Year's? You just stay up?
I forgot what we did for New Year's. I'm getting so old, I forgot.
Well, we had the baby.
Yeah, that.
We were out of
But
the country this year, which was something different we did this year.
for New Year's, huh?
Yeah, we usually the last few years we've been taking vacation on New Year's Day, and it's kind of fun. So like I said, keeping traditions. Maybe that's going to be something we do more frequently. But it is fun to go and do something different once in a while. But we went to Mexico this year, and that was fun because we went to a part in Sonata, and that was really nice going to a spending New Year's in a different, you know, um, place than what you're used to. So it was, you can definitely tell it was New Year's at midnight.
Yeah, no kidding.
All the firearms going on, but yeah, no. So a lot has happened. I know in the beginning we talked about change. I mean, we kind of talked about in the beginning of this podcast that we're gonna track our fitness journey.
You're gonna bring that shit up, bro?
We were almost getting there.
No, yeah. No, I mean this is freaking slow. I mean,
yeah, it's a process.
it's a process. I mean, I'm still trying to stay active here and there, but it's very very difficult. I'm not gonna make it up excuses or anything, but it's very very hard, especially with a newborn.
Mm-hmm. No, and that baby weight, it's real. I think. I don't know for you, but for me,
Cravings.
cravings. It's hard to create great routines when you got a lot on your plate. You got a lot going on, but
It's not impossible. I mean, you're
still trying. I think that's the important part. You can't give up. The moment you give up, it's going to be really hard to catch up. And
well, you could create bad habits like easy.
yeah,
Stupid easy.
yeah. Like for me, I'm accountability. I kind of haven't really worked out in the last maybe 2 months. That's been a while, but there's a lot been going on for me too. It's like a whole month I was sick, and that wasn't fun.
Yeah, and that too. Like when like a week after my son was born,
Yeah.
my daughter got a really bad cold
Uh-huh.
at school,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I took her to urgent care. She tested positive for the flu, and then I got it,
Oh yeah.
and then my wife got it, and then with the newborn, so we were scared.
Yeah.
Like, man, what if this little guy, gets it? He has like no, like
It's like 2 weeks old, right?
like a week
Like
old.
a week old. Yeah.
He's like a week old, and I was really really
Yeah.
scared. I was quarantining in her room, me and her, and
Yeah.
luckily my wife was the doc. My wife called her doctor and just asked what she could take and stuff. She could take some over the counter medicine, but like the best thing to do is keep breastfeeding and stuff, and you should be fine.
Yeah. But it's scary. I mean, thinking about it, like newborn,
Yeah, well, he's super
everyone's
little.
sick. Yeah. Obviously, they don't have a immune system built up yet, which is kind of scary for them. But speaking about the little guy, you want to talk a little bit more about?
He's a fucking tank, dude. He's not little. He's huge. Well, not huge. I mean,
Your son and my son will be sharing clothes soon.
I know. But yeah, like I mean, maybe I don't know, I'd probably uh, stepping over. Not stepping over the line, but I'm pretty sure my wife would want to tell the story, like the birthing story. But
you tell your version of it.
I'll tell. Yeah. So I was at work. So the day before my son was born, my wife was already starting to have pains, like not necessarily contraction, but she was feeling a lot of pressure on her lower stomach. And she's like, I don't know, like I'm full term. She's like, I'm considered full term. So my in-laws came over that night. They took my daughter. He's like, just in case, so you guys could be prepared. And um, she was feeling pain through the night, but she could, handle it and stuff. And my wife actually has a really high pain tolerance. And then, so I was like, hey, like, how are you feeling? I woke up pretty early for work that day. I was like, hey, how you feeling? She's like, I'm kind of like the same. Um, just go ahead and go to work. If anything happens, I'll call you. And then like around, I don't know, maybe like 9:30 or 10, she gives me a call. I was like, hey, like my water broke. So, and I was luckily
Like,
I was close
shit.
by, and I was like, how, like, what's your pain tolerance? He's like, I'm doing okay. He's like, you can finish up what you're doing and then come home. And yeah, luckily I was home within, I don't know, 25, 30 minutes. And then, we got ready. She comes in the shower. I think I showered real quick too. Good thing we had our bags packed already.
Yeah.
Ready to go. And then, like, by the time I got home, like, her pain was, like, her contractions were closer. And then we took her to the hospital. Luckily, we lived close. I mean, you and me, we both live close to the hospital. Or should we take the freeway? And she's like, oh, we'll see how my pain is. And she's like, take the freeway. She's like, take the freeway. Like, I'm having another contraction. And then, luckily, I took the freeway, and it's just the first exit. So we were there, parked in the ER. They got us to through the burning center, going to triage. Then they checked her out. It's like, hey, we'll have to check if this is mucus from your water breaking. If not, you're gonna have to go back home. And I'm like, shit. And they should test it. Like, oh yeah, you're being admitted. And that was like around
How long did that test take?
like 3 minutes.
Oh, okay.
It's like I think a little strip, and they put in like some little thing.
Oh.
And then we got to our room at noon, and then she had Sebastian around 6. So that's pretty quick.
Yeah. Isn't the second one always quicker?
Yeah. This one was pretty quicker. It was a lot smoother. And dude, the thing is, they kicked us out of the hospital really quick. Like we were back home like 25 hours later.
Yeah. No, that seems about right. We went home the same day. Yeah, ours. Yeah, it was even 24 hours. Well, we had it at a birthing center with midwives, but yeah, no, they don't. They don't need you there. Very. If the kid's healthy, I think they just let you
Yeah,
go.
and that's the thing. Like he was born with a little bit of low blood sugar, so they were giving him glucose paste and stuff, and they were checking his blood every like 2-3 hours. So he had to be at a certain level for him to be able to go home.
Yeah.
But he passed. I mean, it was fine. Like he's like, well, he's a good baby.
Yeah.
Good sleeper. Sleeps now. He sleeps through the night. And that's the thing with both of our kids. My wife kind of puts them on a sleep schedule and stuff. And since she's gonna go back to work pretty soon, I mean, she kind of needs that. She loves her sleeps. And I mean, who doesn't? And we've just been, kind of exhausted, pretty busy lately, and just like, oh, that's life, man.
Yeah. And your oldest is how old now? Right?
She'll be 5 in a couple weeks.
5 years changes a lot, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, you feel more experienced, Ellie. I think.
Yeah.
You're like,
And I think it's
not a worried parent.
it's a little bit easier for us now because she's a lot more independent. She doesn't really depend on us, change her and stuff. I mean, some people that have 2 kids under 2 or 2 kids with diapers and stuff, it's very, very difficult. I don't know how some people do it, honestly. I think I'd pull my hair out.
I think Sam, that was Sam's thing. She didn't want to have 2 babies in diapers. So before our second one came, she was like, she needs to be potty trained because I'm not changing 2 diapers. And 2 diapers are expensive too. I mean, that adds up quick.
Yeah, and luckily my wife's pretty good at getting like deals on like diapers. Like she's like, you spend like I charge you spend a certain amount on certain things, and then you'll get a gift gift
kind of fun. I enjoy doing things. I don't have time to go through it, but I've learned that I'm a sucker for deals. I might not
Yeah,
need it, but I'll get a good deal.
yeah, that's how my wife is,
Yeah.
and she's good on that. And then luckily, I mean, thanks to the people that helped us a lot on in our baby shower and stuff
Mhm.
too. I mean, that anything helps. There's a
Yeah.
lot of diapers, a lot of wipes.
Yeah.
That
Kids eat.
yeah, kids eat. Yeah, and then luckily, like my wife kind of struggled a little bit with my daughter
Mhm.
breastfeeding, and then with this kid, I mean, it's been a breeze.
Yeah.
So
Experience. I think you learn a lot from the first one you were parenting over. Like, I know, like, if you're stressed out, like women that are like stressed out from like even breastfeeding, like they sometimes it reduces. I mean, it happens in animals too. I
yeah,
think, yeah, it stress causes a lot on the body, and I mean that's all it is in the first year of parenthood. Like the first kid, you just over worry for things like that. Your second child, you're like, nah, that's normal. You don't really question it, and when you're a first time parent, it's like, what's going on, right?
yeah,
You're just not really sure what's going on. So,
yeah. It's scary at first. It's very scary.
but
And
yeah.
then plus, like in your guys' situation, you guys didn't have anyone up there with you guys.
No, no, not. Yeah, we were absolutely by ourselves when we lived within the Bay Area, so it's kind of
So
it was a
pretty much
challenge.
like just pretty much had
What
to figure
one
it
thing
out.
we did have, we had a really good doctor for Abby. She was so good. Like every time we had like a 3 month, 6 month checkup, she was like, "Okay, so this is what you're gonna look for. This is gonna happen. This is what she's gonna start." She literally taught us a lot. We haven't found like she was one of the best doctors in the area, and Abby um like had really good care. Um, so it's funny because she would come to my store all the time too, but um, she was really good and very thorough on explaining things and making us feel comfortable with what was going on with the, make sure we understood. It's hard to find that. Like we really struggle to find that level of compassion from a doctor anywhere since we moved. But we moved a lot too, to be fair.
Yeah,
So it just sets the bar pretty high. But it goes to show, right? You can be a doctor, you can be just anyone, but it really matters how much you really try into something to be good at it. I mean, she was really good because she was very empathetic and very understanding and would hear us out. And
yeah. And I mean, a lot of times, a lot of these dogs are parents as well. So
yeah, yeah. Now, like we went to urgent care, and he's like, my kids have it too, and it's just like it sounds kind of dismissive, but right. Sometimes as a parent, you just want reassurance. It's not you already know what's going on. It's kind of hard, It just reassurance goes a long way, and I think it makes a big deal. When you have a little one, you just want to. You're supposed to protect them, so obviously you want to, make sure they're safe
and
and okay.
especially kids. I mean, they don't know how to talk it, so they can't tell you what's wrong.
Yeah,
So
they just cry.
that's yeah. They just cry, and then you have to try things. I mean, is this diaper full? Are they hungry? Are they sleepy? And,
Yeah.
I mean, check if they have a fever and stuff, and just all that can be extremely overwhelming, especially if you have stuff planned to do. I remember when Oli was, I mean, she was like 3 or 4 months. She had what's it called? I think stomach reflux,
Mhm.
and like we could not figure it out. So we took her to urgent care. She would keep crying and crying, crying because she would always throw up after she ate, always.
Mhm.
And then they would take her to the doctor, and then they prescribed her, some antibiotics for her and stuff, and
Mhm.
she was good to go.
Mhm.
But yeah, that was really scary. I mean, she was at 3 4 months. I mean, you don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, it's trial and error. You learn as you go. So, but it's crazy. So we got got our two little pairs each,
Yeah,
right?
2 daughters, 2 sons. That's crazy
Crazy.
how our lives are very similar.
Yeah.
That's what I was talking to my wife. I was like, dude, like even our
Similar
dad,
but different.
yeah, like even our dads live similar lives. Like they had a son, a daughter, and then 3 sons.
Yeah.
And then
That's true.
that, yeah,
I didn't think about that
yeah,
either. He just
and then and then it's us. I mean, we have a daughter and then a son
no.
each.
That is, I didn't think about that. But yeah, no, that's
It's a
crazy.
simulation, broski.
Do you think we're in a simulation?
I don't know, honestly. I don't want to get into that.
I was watching it. It's like Um, that's another topic we can go into,
Yeah,
another
yeah,
rabbit hole. But yeah, no, I think it's gonna be fun because we're gonna see our kids grow up with each other, kind of like how we grew up.
yeah.
We'll see our daughters, we'll see our sons. We'll see if they become chatros or if they become.
The Tardilla team lives.
We'll see. Season's about to start again.
Yep.
You gonna be there at practice?
Nope. Probably not.
We'll see. I'll probably be there. I don't know if I'll. Well, maybe make the what's the year of the Villa Escondida.
Muchas gracias, escondida.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
The B team.
I did. No, I don't know. I have to really practice.
We don't
And
practice. We really do practice.
and then, like, well, I mean, we were discussing this with my wife. Like, if my son likes it, I'll support him 100%. Um, but I mean, if he doesn't, like, I wouldn't want him to half-ass it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I think you got to teach that to your kids too. I mean, a lot of kids, they don't become good or something. They just want to make excuses, and I think, um, you got to teach them they're gonna be good. They got to be really try, not just say make up all the reasons why they're not gonna be good or something.
Yeah, and then even with anything, with school, like other sports and stuff, like if they want to try it out, like, we signed up my daughter for ballet. She didn't like it, but we made her finish her whole,
Yeah.
up to her little recitals, and
Uh-huh.
with soccer too. The soccer was hit or miss.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, the first few times she hated it, and then, like, the next few times she loved it, and then the very last game she played very well. And I was like, you should have done this, played like this the whole season.
Yeah.
So we signed her up again, and I was talking to your wife a while ago. She said you guys haven't signed up. So we have so we could actually have them on the same team. And we can call them
I
Los
was telling my
Tardillas.
wife, I was, yeah, no, that's her thing. She signs them up, but we'll get them on the same team. I think as long as you don't have to go to the first game of the day. I think at the time Abby wasn't going to school, so Abby wasn't really interested in soccer. One, I think because she was not used to getting up so early, she wasn't used to that routine. Two, she got really distracted during these games. So like
Oh, and that's the thing. These kids have never been in an actual, like, team
Yeah.
sport, so they don't know what the heck
Yeah.
they're doing.
But I think now that they went to school,
I think hopefully they'll do better. I think, like, we've been talking to my daughter, and she's like, "Oh, you want to play soccer again? I mean, we could, you and Abby can be on the same team this year." She's like, "Yeah, yeah, I'll play with Abby. I'll play with Abby." So, and hopefully her cleats still fit. I mean, I think they will. But I mean, she's wearing them.
We'll see.
Those are expensive.
We're getting 2 years worth in that one, but yeah, no, that's gonna be fun, and it's gonna be funny because you're gonna see this as your son grows up, but like they learn a lot from the older sibling. Like
Yes.
my little one, he learns so much about his sister that he's doing things that um, the oldest didn't necessarily do, but only because he sees her doing it. If that makes sense. And
Yes.
he like throws baseballs and like he's goofy, but
It gets hilarious.
yeah, especially runs away and sticks his tongue at you when he books it. He is quick.
He's hilarious.
I don't know if you saw him earlier. He booked it earlier. He takes off. He's curious. I don't say like in Spanish we call it vago. He's just curious. That's what kids are, and he's he's hilarious. But I'm excited to see because I mean he likes watching Chaparral. I mean, he watched the whole Nacional with me when I was here.
Yeah, and that's good. Like, when someone's gonna like develop a passion for something. Like, once their eyes are glued
Yeah,
to something.
I mean, my younger brother, it's funny because he was so into animals, tractors, and everything. As he grew up, I mean, he kind of didn't become what we thought he was gonna do. But the youngest one was the same way. My youngest brother ended up being really involved in it. So, um, he he's getting really invested into charreria and at the same time baseball. He started lifting weights. Guys, he's gained 20 pounds.
That's good. Though. I mean,
Which is crazy because it reminds me of me when I was in high school, and he's doing that at 15. I didn't start till I was around that age too, but he has a he was He was a really thin kid. I mean, so was I. But he's really putting some weight. Take that creatine. You gave him the same ones you gave me. Remember when you gave me creatine?
Yeah.
The hydrate one. Yeah,
You're cramping?
yeah, I cramped like, but I still don't drink enough water. I wasn't drinking enough water back
Okay.
then, let alone now. But it's funny because my brother cramped up too in the middle of a game. I was like, I told you.
Yeah, that happens, dude.
Yeah, you gotta
You
drink
gotta
enough
drink a
water.
lot of water.
A lot of water.
Is that what that creatine does? I mean, that fills up your muscles
Water.
water.
But if it doesn't, then it just end up with nothing. It's gonna cause you muscles to be tight. You know, it's gonna hurt. It hurts. I remember running suicides. I cramped up like, and I don't normally cramp up, so it's interesting. But we'll see what happens and see
Yeah,
what the boys.
see what the future holds, man. I
Yeah,
mean, it's funny. I mean, our little girls are going to grow up, and that's going to be like our weekends from when the sports season starts. And we
yeah,
sign the girls up or the boys up. Saturday, wake up early, go to a game, or
yeah.
go. It's this soccer or start them off with baseball. I mean, hopefully we put them in baseball.
Baseball.
Maybe you can coach them.
Coach, I'm the only thing about coaching is
I can't do
I it's
it.
hard. I did it one time and when I was in college. I helped one of my good friends, Tyler Malone. He shout out to Tyler. He
Big tie.
Big Ty. We worked out with him back in college, remember? And he he coached I think like an 8-year-old team or 9-year-old 10 something like that, and I would go help him out, and it was I liked it, but I don't know, like, it's different when it's your own kid. He was coaching his nephew, which is a little bit different, but I don't know. I don't want to be that parent that pushes a sport onto my kid, and then they end up hating it and not like doing it because I overdid it. And I just I can be hard sometimes. I think I mean I'm hard on myself, so that's kind of how my parents were very strict and they weren't hard on me because I would do what I was supposed to do, but like I don't want to do that. Like I think the fear kind of like sways me away from coaching my own kids, but I also want to I would rather be the parent that like practices with them and then
Yeah,
get coached
I was
by
gonna say that. You'd rather do that,
yeah
correct mistakes and
yeah,
stuff.
and
Because I mean,
after the game.
because every kid learns different.
Yeah, and I can't put up with parents. I think that's my biggest thing. But
That's true, man.
I don't want to be having meetings and like coaching the parents too to how to teach their kids to be on time and stuff like that. I mean, I'm not on
I was gonna say, like, why would you teach someone to be on time
time.
if the coach is never on time?
Yeah, exactly. So I couldn't do it. Like I don't know. I'm not gonna say never, but I think I know a lot about sports. I know a lot about like strategy and um, we'll see. I mean, I'm not gonna say no, but I think
Like me, I'm surprised I kept my composure when it was soccer.
you did it such a. I'm not gonna forget. Like when I was watching, we were watching your guys' game. Like you were so composed. I was like, dude, like I remember when we were younger.
I was hurting on the I was hurting on the inside. It was because I'm really competitive, though,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. No,
Yeah,
it fatherhood changes you.
I was
Makes
boiling on the inside, man.
yeah. I can imagine, and I think that's another thing. Like I've become a lot more patient than what I used to be. But geez, like it is hard, and it will
Dude,
test you.
oh my
And
god,
someone else's kid, what are you supposed to tell them? Like
I know.
I don't know.
And if their parents are like, "Do not raise your voice at my child,"
Yeah, and then you're like, you have to put up with that. I think that's what even worse nowadays.
I'm
But
that parent.
of course, you actually. But yeah, like I think we got to see. Future is just starting. We're excited. Bring everyone along, see what happens. We'll have
Yeah.
some stories, maybe from soccer.
Hopefully, I mean, season starts pretty soon, so
Yeah.
you gotta get Abby signed up
Yeah,
yesterday.
we like to take
So,
our time.
yeah. I mean, I don't know if you want to wrap it up there. I mean,
Yeah,
I
we
think
can
we
wrap
ended
it
on a
up
good note, and then hopefully, we'll have some content more frequently.
more frequently. Hopefully, there's not a lot of we're not having any babies anytime soon or any more surgery. So
Yeah,
unless gotta not be sick, no more
yeah,
holidays for
yeah.
a while. But yeah, no
Take
more
care
to
of your
come.
health, everyone.
More to come.
More to come.
All
Well,
right.
I mean, I think we'll conclude this episode.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.